Hello there, my friends. Welcome to my show, The Wisdom of Essential Oils. I'm Leonie, and I'm an absolute lover of life, very passionate about people, and very passionate about my beautiful doTERRA essential oils, which I use as a vehicle to reach out and touch other people's lives. My mission in life is to empower others to be the best they can be, and I feel to do that, I'm constantly working on myself so that I can be a better version of me as well. In saying that, I always think it's important that we be kind to ourselves, and I, for one, know that I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm on a constant path of improvement. And so it's an absolute pleasure to be here today chatting with you. And what I'd like to do today to incorporate the wisdom of essential oils into the use of rituals. And so, first up, I'd love you to pop me a little hello. Oh, hello. Is it Rashita? I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but hello from Sydney. I'm fine, thank you. Say hello, where you're from. And if you'd like to just drop some comments in there about how you're currently using your oils or whether you have a question about essential oils. I particularly love working with the emotional aspects of the oils. And Rashida, I do draw oil cards and interpret them for you. So I'll definitely do one for you in a little while. But also, if you are currently practicing any type of daily ritual, just pop a little comment in there as well. Hello, Tamara. Is that New York City? Goodness me, NYC, I'm thinking it might be. Okay, so my mission here today is to hopefully inspire you, if you already have oils, to get them out and start using them. If you are not, to connect with me so I can take you on an oily journey with me, because that's what I love to do. I'm going to be sharing some kind of superficial hints and tips about oils today, but what my real passion is to connect with you privately so I can really get an insight into who you are and then be able to go much deeper and share more meaningful information with you. Wow, New York, hello, welcome. So that's what I want to do now. My expectations of you, my friends, is that, yes, I'd love you to interact with me. I'd love you to ask questions. One of the things I want to mention about the use of essential oils, it's really, really important when you're using essential oils to ensure that it is an oil of very high quality. So do your research. I've been working with the beautiful doTERRA essential oils for over almost 10 years now. And I had been using oils for many years before then. And the two things as a consumer you need to look out for are the potency and the purity. So if you have a beautiful potent oil that has all of the actual chemistry within that plant to produce that oil, you'll get a much higher impact from that oil, and it will actually do what it's meant to do. The other thing that you need to look for is purity, to make sure there is a lot of testing to make sure it is exactly as the Mother Nature intended it to be, to make sure that it hasn't been watered down or added to something else. Because if you've got the purity, then you have that peace of mind of using it on you or your most precious assets, skin, such as your children or your four-legged children or whatever the case may be. So I've done my due diligence with doTERRA, and that's what I love about these oils, is that they're not only pure and potent, but they very much come from the heart space, in that wherever our oils are sourced, a lot of them are developing countries, and we support those people. We give them a hand up, not a hand out. It's all about working with the locals, tapping into their intelligence, their innate intelligence that's been there for generations to grow these beautiful plants, and supporting them with maybe some of the facilities that we take for granted, like putting in water systems and schools and education and things like that. So I love that these oils, these beautiful bottles of doTERRA oils, are really based on heart. And I think that everyone in the Spiritual Events Directory community has heart, and that's why we're here connecting together. And so hello, Vicky. Lovely to see you on here too. So what I just like to do to begin with, I always like to bring us out of that busy state that we tend to get ourselves in, and just so that we can just flow calmly through the next little time we have together. And so I'm going to just ask you, you may like to close your eyes. What I love to get you to come to your senses. And I mean that by activating your senses and actually intentionally thinking about your senses. And so I want to just take you on a little story. And as we're doing this, I want you to start thinking about what you can smell, what you can feel, what you can touch, what you can taste. The reason I'm going to tell you this story is that it's tied up with rituals. I was a sole parent when my children were 3 and 5, and so I was always looking for things to do with them that they enjoyed, but also didn't cost anything. And there was this great little park where I used to live, and it had a playground, and it had this little stream that used to run through it. And this is what we used to do. So we would go there and we'd have a picnic. And then here was this activity. So I want you to close your eyes and imagine you're a child. Go back to that childhood. And hopefully it was a happy childhood. But if it wasn't a happy childhood, I'm going to let you borrow this one. Because there I was with my 2 children. Imagine yourself in a park, beautiful green grass, tall sentinel trees looking over you, watching you, sharing their wisdom with you. And as you go back into your little childish body, you can imagine the thrill and the excitement of being on a picnic. And then mum says, yes, let's go look at the stream. And they would collect, and this can be you, picking up leaves and twigs, feeling them beneath your fingers, and then looking at that little stream that wend its way through the park and throwing your twig along with your sibling into the water and watching it bump and glide smoothly sometimes, other times getting caught up on a rock, but then finally moving around the rock, moving on, and you're running along the side of this little stream, giggling and laughing and wondering if your twig is going to beat your sibling's twig to the other end. And as you're doing that, what are you feeling? Are you feeling that beautiful, cool green grass under your feet? Are you feeling maybe the sharpness of a rock that you didn't see as you were running along the side of that stream? Are you feeling the cool wind caressing your skin? Maybe it's the warmth of the sun shining through the dappled green leaves of those beautiful sentinel trees that are guarding you. What are you tasting? Maybe you've still got the tingle of the special treat of lemonade you're allowed to have at the picnic. Maybe it's just you need some saliva because you've been running so fast along the side of that creek, you're thirsty. What are you feeling inside your heart? What are you feeling? Are you feeling the joy, the excitement? And then you get to the end of that stream and you see that your twig beat your siblings, or maybe it didn't even make it. Maybe it's still hung up on another big piece of rock that's sticking out of the stream. But you know it doesn't matter because you just had the most fun, the most innocent, playful fun of being in nature, of laughing, of giggling, of being joyful, and being grateful for the really simple things in life. I love those visits with my children. I became a child too, and I think we all need to become more childlike and bring rituals into our lives. And I want to just talk about that and maybe just share some ideas of how you can incorporate rituals into your life. If you already have a ritual and you're not sure how to incorporate the oil, just let me know. Before we get that totally though, I always like to choose an oil for us today. And I just chose this and it out of the pack. And this is what we have, my friends. We have the beautiful rose. I don't know if you've ever tried to purchase a really good quality rose oil, but it is a vast investment, but it is one very much worthwhile. Rose we often think about as the oil of unconditional love. It's just divine love. And so I guess today with drawing this card, I'd like to think that in all this turmoil that's going on around us, where we often see people being divided and arguing with each other about what's going on in our current crazy states, that we could go back into loving each other, that we could just draw on that wisdom of rose. And when you think about the rose, as the petals unfold, the true beauty is revealed. And I think as we maybe unfold from some of the fear, as we unfold from some of the judgment, and we just open up to the possibility that we're all just humans, we're all just having this human existence together, and we're not perfect. But if we could open up, maybe be a little vulnerable, maybe be a bit more loving, we could spread that beautiful aroma of love and healing that rose provides to us throughout the world. So that's my little oil to start the day. Okay, so what I'm going to do first up, before we because Rushita has asked, and I'm just going to draw a card. Now, I want to just say to you, when I am working, I love nature, my friends. I grew up in the outback of Australia, and I really, really love our beautiful earth. I have travelled extensively throughout the world, and I'm just so grateful that we are put on this planet. And one of the things when I'm connecting with the oil cards is that I understand the properties of oils and some of the emotional aspects, but then I just interpret it to my view of the wisdom of nature. So, okay, so I have drawn for you, Rashita, what we like to call the comforting blend, which is Console. And this is an oil that is particularly helpful at times when we maybe feel a little bit overburdened with some grief, or there may be you might have something going on in your life where it's been really harsh and you are trying to deal with this. And so with the Console blend, it's going to help you to release that, and it's also going to help you come to a place of healing. And healing is often takes time, but know that you are being supported, that you have that comfort to tap into, and that sometimes it can feel hard, but the transition will take place. So I've actually got the Console. I was going to pull it out, but you won't be able to see it anyway. But one of the things that often I find helps is that when we're struggling, it's about accepting that is where we're at and not too harsh on ourselves. So Rashida, whatever's going on in your life, just give yourself a little bit of love and know that you will get through it, that we sometimes have to ask ourselves questions as well that will help us head towards the right place. So with this, I've got a question or a centering thought for you that this card provides, and that is, I accept the painful transitions in life as moments to reflect and learn that pain can be a great teacher when we take the lesson. And if we don't take the lesson, it does tend to repeat. And so, Rashita, the question that I would suggest you ask yourself, and everyone on here, I want to just make this point that so often we could say to ourselves, we can ask ourselves a question that will evoke a negative response. So why does this always happen to me? Well, our subconscious will come up with all these reasons. Or why is this so painful? The subconscious will come up with all these reasons to validate that. Whereas if we ask ourselves, like in this case, Rashida, why am I able to feel peace and comfort? And your subconscious will then fill that void with reasons why you can move through this and feel peace and comfort. So I hope that is of some comfort to you. If you'd like to know any more, Rashida, I'd love to just put a note in here that you'd like to connect with me later, and I'll have a deeper chat with you about that. So Zoe, hi Leonie, would you recommend any oils for a dog that has IVDD and is paralysed? I'm sorry, I don't know what IVDD is. Maybe you could just give me a little bit more information. The other thing that one of my responsibilities on a show like this is I have to be very compliant with my language about what the oils can and can't do. I have had extraordinary experiences with these oils, as have many of my colleagues. However, everyone has a different physiology, body chemistry, same with animals. And so what may work for me or my animal may not work for you. And it's also what the regulatory bodies will allow me to say. So quite often when it's physical, I would much prefer to take it off the air and go private. But can I tell you that one of my favorite oils using with particularly elderly animals, and even for myself, and I'm not an elderly animal, I'm forever young, I'm going to stay a child forever, is frankincense. Frankincense has a beautiful calming effect on our whole system. And so, yes, so maybe, Zoe, if you can just maybe, we'll have a little private message. Hello, Nixter Noodle from Brisbane. I love your tag. Tamara, I'm truly an earth dominant sign. Lots of plants and woody smells. I've been stuck on eucalyptus and patchouli for a while now. Well, Eucalyptus was my first experience with essential oils when I was a kid in the outback. I might have shared this story. We used to be, trundle on the back of the ute going down to the river, and we'd just reach up and grab a handful of the gum leaves as we passed under the tree and chew on it. It was foul. I don't recommend it to anyone, but the aroma was extraordinary. Eucalyptus is actually the oil of wellness, Tamara. And patchouli. Patchouli, it's funny, we all have our oils. Well, patchouli is mine, and it's one that I have to learn to work out what it is that's stopping me. I kind of know, but I've been resisting. But we all do have our favorites, and that's okay. I just want to say you don't have to be an expert on essential oils to use essential oils. Some people come to me and say, Leonie, what oil would be, what oil is going to make me happy? And I go, well, let's open the lids, and the one that makes you smile is probably the one that's for you, because whatever memory it evokes, and you just go, if you smile, straight away you're releasing pressure on your body. Actually, your posture changes, the tension goes. You're actually going to help improve your holistic wellness. And again, speaking of holistic wellness, when we can bring our body, if we think about mind, body, spirit, when we can bring our or mind, body, heart, whichever you like to call it, when we can bring our body back into a better physical state, we're in a much better place to heal our heart, to release limiting beliefs, and to help with that healing process. And when we're feeling better in our heart and in our physical body, we can expand on our spiritual growth. And so it's really important to understand that and to bring these oils into work on those different aspects. And so, Tamara, rose quartz next to my heart keeps me kind. That's beautiful. And, guys, I talk about a toolkit, and my toolkit is, has so many essential oils in it. However, I have lots of other essential oils too. And if you kind of look over my shoulder above the doTERRA Wellness Advocate sign, you'll see a three-tiered stand there. It's covered with crystals. And I just love it. And I'm exploring that as well. I believe we need to bring lots of modalities in to help us. And when we find the one that suits us, pop that into your permanent toolkit. Hi, Mike. Hi, Belle. Okay, I want to just go back through just see. Okay, so just quickly, I want to talk about rituals. So it's really important, I believe, to have some rituals. And you might think, oh, I don't do that. But really, if you start thinking about your day, you probably do. One of the rituals I would encourage all of you to bring into practice is being mindful, because rituals are about intentionally doing something. So when you open your eyes, what is your intentional practice the moment you open your eyes? Do you start going, oh my God, it's morning? What about the alternative? The alternative is not good. So I'd be like, I generally go, yay, thank God I get another crack at this world. Or whoever your maker is, give thanks. So perhaps start looking at your day in increments and thinking, how can I bring rituals into my day? So for me, it starts off probably the night before, because I have a diffuser by my bed, and I have the beautiful lavender piece. It's a blend of ours in there, and it has lavender and sandalwood and marjoram and Roman chamomile, and it's all very soothing and calming. But it's also, lavender piece is about helping to let go of any kind of, anger or frustration types of feelings. So it makes sense that if we can let go of those, and then we can have a really restful night's sleep, our physical body has a much better chance of resting and repairing, and so that we do actually wake up in a better state. So that's my ritual every night. The oil goes in the diffuser, a little bit goes under my nose because I like to have it directly on me, a little bit in the palm of my hand, deep inhalation, say my little nighttime prayer, whatever that means for you, hop into bed, and then I give thanks for everything, all the good things, like what is the best thing that's happened to me in the day. So that's my ritual before I go to bed. So starting off, yes, Tamara, first things first, I actually have a glass of, a water bottle beside my bed, goes with me everywhere. And if you're going to be putting essential oils that are applicable for flavouring, put them in stainless steel or glass. And I have green mandarin in there. I just love green mandarin. And it's great because I drink during the night, I drink first thing in the morning. Absolutely, Tamara. Helping to balance everything. But you know that the interesting aspect about green mandarin, my friends, is that green mandarin is the oil of potential. And a little story about how we get our green mandarin and how it came about, that any of you horticulturalists out there might know. I'm not a gardener. Sadly, I'm very bad with plants. I mean to, but do well, but I don't. With mandarins, they actually take off a lot of the green fruit to give the remaining fruit more nutrients and more chance to become even bigger and juicier. And so these green mandarins were being wasted. And so what our sourcing team has done is actually partnered with that farmer, and they actually extract the essential oil from the green mandarin, and it is absolutely divine. And so if you think about it, once upon a time you think, green mandarin, it doesn't have any potential, throw away. Its life has been lost. But no. And we can tap into that wisdom as well to think, we have so much untapped potential within us. And so having that in your water, or maybe it's lemon, maybe you like lemon. Citrus are great oils to pop into your water. So that's my ritual. And then waking up in the morning and as I said, giving thanks. I always stretch. I have a massager. I massage my body before I get out of bed. And while I'm doing it, I'm not going, oh gosh, I wish I didn't ache. Oh my gosh, look at my fat legs. I'm actually giving thanks for this human form that allows me to get around and enjoy the beautiful world. And so even though I do ache when I get up, I've got some structural issues. But if we focus on what we feel is wrong with us, how good a day are we going to have? Whereas if we start giving thanks, the universe will give us more to be thankful for. And this is where I love my oils, because the aromas can take me into spaces and places that make me feel good. And when I feel good, I'm actually going to be looking for more good. And so that's a start to the day. And I hope you're playing along with this and start thinking about what you're doing. Maybe write yourself some notes as to what you'd like to do. I think the first part of the day is it's my preparation. It sets me up. And I love having a nice hot shower. I'm very blessed. I can look out over the paddock. I can look out over the trees. And I just have this beautiful, it's almost like a shower meditation. What I will often do before my shower, I missed a bit, dry brushing. And I usually put grapefruit oil, which is the oil of honoring the body, on my brush, or sometimes I mix it up and I put a blend we have called Aroma Touch, which is our massage blend. And it has peppermint, it has marjoram, it has grapefruit, all sorts of oils in there. And as I'm brushing, those oils are stimulating me and I'm starting to feel energized for my day. If some of you are feeling sluggish in the morning as you're going through this morning ritual, a great pick-me-up is to pop a drop of our respiratory blend, Easy Air. Either wipe it on your shower wall, or put a drop on the shower floor. And as the hot water hits it, the eucalyptus, the tea tree, the lemon or peppermint all start coming up, and it's like going up through your respiratory system, clearing your airways out. Peppermint energizes you. So these are great little rituals that you can bring in that take absolutely hardly any time at all to add into your day, but you need to intentionally do it. How do we remember? Well, I can remember when I first started integrating essential oils into my rituals, I wrote them down. I wrote down what I would do step by step. And then I was able to just remember. Okay, might just take a little break there for a moment as you may be thinking about what you can add into your morning ritual. And I notice Belle has asked for some essential oil wisdom. Okay, what can we find for you, Belle? Now, one of the things I love to do is share lots of uses for essential oils. And on this show, I predominantly talk about the emotions, but I have to tell you that when I take you on my little oily journey in private, we talk about how to integrate them in absolutely every aspect of your life, whether it's cooking, whether it's cleaning, or making cleaning a more enjoyable task, whether it's emotions, whether it's passions, whether it is physical uses. And that's when we get really, really deep. So again, if you'd like to know more about that, just pop me a note. So Belle Green, my lovely partner is Farmer Green. You might be related. Okay, so for you we have cilantro. Now here's a little thing, the wisdom of essential oils. When I think of cilantro, I'm going to think of coriander because they come from the same plant. And you'll find this, that sometimes essential oils are extracted from the seeds, sometimes they're extracted from the leaves, the resin. It differs, and it all comes down to the chemistry that is found within each of those aspects of the plant and what that chemistry does to our physical body. Then we can talk about aroma and how that unlocks memory and emotion and whatnot. But cilantro comes from the leaves, coriander comes from the seed of the same plant. Okay, so with this one, cilantro is about release. So, Belle, maybe you're holding on to something. I know a lot of us have a bit of a control tendency. Maybe it's about trusting and just going with the flow, letting go of worry. Worry serves us not, and yet we all do it. Most of us tend to do it. And it's so easy to get caught up in what concerns us and what is outside of our control. The only thing we can control, Belle, is our response to a situation, what action we choose to take for that. So when you think about it, holding on to all those worries and trying to be in control is quite taxing. And so when we can let go, we can actually experience freedom. Sounds quite bizarre, but it is true. So the centering thought for you, my friend, is I create freedom to honor myself and all that I am. So all that you are, Belle. I release the need to control. And the question, as you remember last time I was talking about asking a question that can elicit positive responses, positive information to move you on a forward path, is why is it so easy to create a strong and solid foundation? So instead of worrying, let go of control, trust in a greater power source who has your back, and focus on filling the void with reasons why it is so easy for you to create this strong and solid foundation. I hope that is of some benefit to you. Okay, someone else has asked here. Mike, polo takes me back to the 80s. Tamara, okay, Tamara will do one for you as well. So remember to pop in here for me what rituals you are doing if you would like me to add in anything. Direction, all right, we'll come to that in a moment. So Tamara. Right, you have the cleansing blend. Now, this is focusing on, if you're into chakras, we're focusing on your sacral chakra here. So we're looking here at letting go of any toxic, sorry, I'm just going to move this down so I see comments. It's really tricky having to be multitasking here. Okay, oh good, I'm glad that helped, Belle. Okay, so with your cleansing blend, we're looking at, before I start, I just want to say to you that I believe in your inner wisdom as well, as your inner wisdom when you hear things. So when you hear me say things, if your little voice takes you on a different path or triggers something, listen to it, heed it, because it will be responding to this wisdom. So maybe, I don't know if you've been feeling a bit stuck, whether you're kind of holding on to any energy that is not serving you, whether you maybe have some habits that would be better serving you if you let them go. So this is talking about what can we look at that we can clear out, remove, to leave space for fresh energy, fresh ideas, fresh people, because it can be people, it can be things, and sometimes, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky, and this is where your inner voice will have to interpret this, sometimes it might not actually be you, it might be someone in the peripherals, so someone in your close by to you. So what we're looking to here, as I said, is to bring about the positive change and, I guess, renewal. We want to help you feel cleansed and purified and off to a new start. So your centering thought is, I release all the negativity. Let it go. Anything that has held me from moving forward. You may not know what that is, but just tell it. I let you go. And can I ask that you let anything go with love? Send it off with love. Life is a boomerang, my friends. Whatever we send out generally comes back from somewhere. So the more we can send out love, the more love will come back to us. And so when something doesn't serve you, thank it, bless it, let it go. So I release all the negativity that's held me back from moving forward. I release all toxic patterns in my life. Give them permission to leave. And the question for you is, why is it so easy to open my life to all possibilities? So Tamara, that's a question. Just keep asking yourself, and you will come up with more and more reasons why it's so easy to open your life up to possibilities. You know what, guys? They're waiting for us. They're waiting for us. So that is that one. I want to also talk about, and I'll come back to, Tamara got kicked out. Tamara, send me a message if you like. we can connect again later, and I'll take you through that. Patricia, I'll come to you shortly. But one of the things that I think is important with rituals is that they are intentional, that we are doing it for our betterment, that we are adding value to our life and other people. So it's not just like I had the family rituals. You know, another family ritual I had with my children was on a Saturday night. It was picnic tea night. And it was great because it sort of took the pressure off me, and I just chop up all fresh vegetables and fruit and put it on a big platter, and we had some oven-baked chips. That was a treat. And the kids were allowed one glass of lemonade. That was their weekly treat. And we'd sit on the floor around this table and we would watch a movie. So that was a ritual, and that was about connection. And I think this is what rituals are. They're about connection. So whether it's connection with people or connection with yourself, honoring yourself enough to listen and go deep within and connect with yourself. I think on a physical level, whether it's the dry brushing or, you know, massage, those sorts of things, it's also about sending that clear message of you know, I value myself. I value myself. I'm going to take the time to spend on myself. I think a really valuable message we can all take on board is what they tell us when we fly. Put your oxygen mask on first. And if you have a desire to serve the world or help others or just serve your family, what a great mission that would be. We need to take care of us. If we are not feeling well in a holistic sense, physically, spiritually, in our hearts, we can't be the best we can be. And so find whatever those rituals are that you can then pass on. And it's like a connection to ancestry as well, that if we can pass on the rituals that we've had as children, pass them on to our children. So they've got that connection with you and your lineage. I think that's really important as well. The other thing with rituals and repetition is the body does love that, especially with like dry brushing or massage. The body responds to that, and it helps us to get out of this fight and flight state where we're like, you know, where's the bear that's going to eat me, into a more relaxed state. We call it homeostasis, where we're balancing the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. And so practice your rituals, whether it's meditation, even if it's dance, whatever it is that you practice, that will really help you in a holistic sense. So I want to come back to Mike wants to play. Good. Let that inner child out, Mike. Let it run. Someone asked me for direction, and I'm just trying to find who it was. Nix to Noodle, going in circles. Okay, so that is such a big question, and you know, if you want to connect with me later, we can take that further. But I always think, well, we ask ourselves questions. So direction, I'm going in circles. Is it because I can actually see where I want to go, but I'm frightened? So these are the things, what are stopping us from creating rituals, or what are stopping us from getting anywhere in life? So we need to dig deep and ask questions, because, you know, maybe you need solidarity. Maybe you need to take some balance oil, which is one of our beautiful blends that has frankincense and hoe wood and spruce and a number of other oils in it, to just ground you. I love trees, as I may have mentioned. And when you think about the trees with the roots going down into the ground, just holding us and going, it's okay, just be still. Stop moving, stop racing, stop moving from one thing to the next, stop going around in circles, just be, and go within and start asking yourself some questions about, who am I? Who am I? Why was I put on this earth? What do I want to get out of this beautiful life? What do I want to give to this beautiful life? And so maybe balance, that's what's coming to me next to Noodle. But again, if you want to chat with me later, we'll do a private chat and take you deeper on that one. Okay, Patricia, I hope I'm saying that right. I do love languages. Not saying I do them well, but Patricia, you'd like a card. Let's see what our beautiful Mother Nature, provider of these beautiful oils, is going to share with you today. Just chat with me in there too to let me know whether these land for you or how you feel or what it's brought for you. Okay, Patricia, you have drawn helichrysum. I never used to even be able to say this, let alone spell it. But it is such a precious oil. Helichrysum can be associated with pain, as in, I'm not sure what you're going through right now, but it is about looking at the pain. Maybe it's a trauma, maybe it's a betrayal, maybe it's something that's going on inside of you, and just helping you to work through that, to release it, and to basically cauterize the pain. Now, on a physical level, helichrysum, I've seen helichrysum do some amazing things. And let me just say it this way. I like to get into the kitchen. I'm not an amazing chef or anything, but I tend to have an issue with potato peelers. I tend to always be wanting to take a bit of skin off. So generally, I just go straight for the helichrysum and apply it. And it means that whatever I'm peeling doesn't get covered in blood. So I'm trying to be a little bit discreet with what I say here. But think about helichrysum on an emotional, you know, when you're bleeding internally and you feel that pain, it can help. It can help with that, just to release, but also to stop that ongoing pain. So your centering thought: I am strong and courageous and have the ability to overcome all that life throws at me. I believe in the power to heal. I am a powerful creator. Patricia, you are a powerful creator. Believe that, know that. And the question to ask yourself, so that you do come up with those beautiful intuitive answers yourself, is, why am I so courageous? And maybe you could drop us a little note and tell us why you're so courageous, Patricia, because I know you are. Okay, so next to Noodle, should you dry brush before doing Symphony of the Cells protocol as a ritual? There you go. One of the benefits of dry brushing is that you're actually, the skin is our largest living, breathing organ, right? And there's some pretty yucky stories you read about when they vacuum, how much of that is our dead skin cells, because we're continually shedding. But sometimes our bodies don't perform exactly the way they're supposed to, and they don't shed those cells as much as they should. And dry brushing is just, it's great because it's helping to remove those, and it's so invigorating, and it's helping to get the lymph moving, and the lymph is carrying all of that goodness and helping with that circulatory flow. And so, yes, if you are having a massage or using essential oils, I think it makes a lot of sense to dry brush. Some people do it a couple of times a week. I used to do it every morning because it felt good. The one thing I want to talk about before I go to, thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Well, that card was absolutely perfect for you. Guys, don't you love the way our beautiful universe works? I am but a vessel. I am but a vessel passing this information on to you. So, Patricia, I'm glad we made a connection there. I'd love to chat more with you. So, I want to come back to the rituals before I go to, who was my lovely friend? Sarah, who would like one. A really powerful ritual that one of my beautiful friends, Vanessa Jean, created was aromatic dressing. And this is after we've had our shower and we want to moisturize our body. It's a great idea to create your own blend, and you can have, if you can get yourself a beautiful little wooden bowl or a little special glass bowl, something that's meaningful to you. And it would be really lovely too if you have a precious bowl that's been handed down to you. And then you just put your fractionated coconut oil in there and the oils that you want to anoint your body with that morning. And this can take a couple of minutes, guys. It's not like you've got to take an hour in the bathroom. But if you have an hour, celebrate it. I'm at that stage of my life where I can, and I enjoy that first sort of half, 3/4 of an hour in the morning to me. So what you do is you put your oils in the bowl with your fraction of a coconut oil or your unscented hand cream, which we have. Mix it, and then you start anointing various parts of your body. You might want to start at the feet and work up. And as you're doing it, you are actually giving thanks. You're praising. Thank you, feet, for having such a strong hold on this beautiful earth. Thank you, legs, for enabling me to walk around and get to where I need to go. Thank you, thighs, not, oh, look at my dimply golf ball thighs. No, thank you. Thank you for supporting the rest of me. And what it is, it's these positive affirmations we're feeding ourselves, and we're giving thanks. Instead of rubbishing this body that we've been given, we are giving thanks for it and seeing it in a totally different light. And the more we tell ourselves, it's like nourishment for the mind, it's nourishment for the soul, nourishment for the heart. It's so powerful, guys. It's really important. And on that note, I just want to tell you something. Vanessa Jean and another beautiful friend, Adam Barrelay, who's a crystal guru, have written this beautiful book called Gifts of Essential Oils. Now, we have free classes that we offer on education, and there's some fabulous classes coming up that these two guys and another colleague, Karen Miller, are putting on that are about blending oils. And if you'd like to know more about those, again, message me here and I'll get back to you with the details of how to get on board with those and actually learn. And you can be the master alchemist. And then one of you who said you're an alchemist. You can be the master alchemist and create your own blends, but you'll have the knowledge to do so. I'm really happy to connect with you individually on that note too. But if you'd like to learn, I'm always learning from others. I don't know everything. There's so much I don't know, and I'm learning every day. And I tap into the wisdom of people like my colleagues to learn, and I'd love to share that with you as well. So to be actually able to blend. So the aromatic dressing is a really powerful ritual. And ladies in particular, this is a really important practice to teach our daughters. So they start honouring their body at a very young age, because so often we see them start to get into teenagehood and they start the comparison game, and then they start doing other silly things. So let's bring in these rituals and pass them on down the family as well. So who did I say I had? Sarah. Sarah would like, I don't think I've done Sarah yet. Okay. Let me have a look at my comments. Okay, Mike, are you asking? We'll draw one for you after Mike. You can't be left out. Brave male on the call with us. Thank you so much. I have to say, I have so many fabulous male colleagues using these oils and teaching, integrating them into their lives. There's some beautiful aftershave lotions, man perfumes that you can create, or pure fumes, as we like to say, because there's so many. I don't know if you've looked into it. You may want to investigate if you haven't already. Lots of toxins in perfumes. So I never buy perfume anymore. I just create my own. So Sarah, you've chosen the uplifting blend. Okay, so with this one, what you're looking at releasing here is that maybe you're feeling a bit sluggish, maybe you're feeling a bit down, disenchanted, disheartened. And what this is going to do is help you release those and to bring in, if it's an uplifting blend, what would you want to bring in? You want to bring in a bit more joy, a bit more cheerfulness, a bit more light into your life. This blend will help you. What we're looking at in your day, I think maybe you have had a bit of darkness, maybe there's some things that have, maybe you've kind of lost your joie de vivre, maybe you've lost that little spark. And so this is going to, when we let go of the heavy-heartedness, and this blend will help lift you up out of that, you can make room for bringing in that cheer and joyfulness. And so you're centering thought. Again, guys, a lot of it is about choice. It's about us choosing. And we have to identify what it is that's holding us back and then let it go. So I allow myself the space to create joy. I'm worthy of creating joy. You are worthy of creating joy, Sarah. And find ways that have fun and experience laughter. Guys, we need to laugh more. I love what they call dad jokes. I just think anything. I mean, I laugh at the drop of a hat anyway, but I find humor and I look for humor because it makes me feel better. And if I feel better, I can operate in a better way. So your question to ask yourself, Sarah, is why is it so easy for me to feel and give joy? And sometimes these questions are hard because we actually don't see ourselves as being very good or clever or worthy. And one of the issues that I find I'm continually working on a private level with people is identifying the leak in your self-belief tank, because we need to make sure, and I'm a great believer that we don't just have one self-belief tank, we have self-belief tanks in a whole lot of different areas of our life. Certainly my experience was that one of my self-belief tanks was really high, but several of the others was low. So again, these are more private conversations we can have, um, about those things. So I hope that has been of help to you, Sarah. The other thing I want to suggest to you with rituals is what can stop us is that we can say, I don't have time. Now, when you're a mother or a father of little children, you're busy working, there's lots of things going on, but really it is about choice. I think I was one of the busiest mothers, 2 young children on my own, on every committee, every charity, trying to give back, teach, role model to my children to give back to the community and be part of things, and at every sporting event, operating a business, I had a couple of other jobs on the side to make ends meet. We can do it. It's about the desire, and it's about understanding that we do have the power of choice. I actually wrote a book called How to Get More Done in Your Day because people were struggling, and that was often people would say, I want to do this, but I don't have time. And I started thinking about it. I think, well, we all do have the same amount of time. It's what we do with it. So if you're interested in that, pop on, and I'd love you to do this anyway. Go and check out my website, senseofempowerment.com.au. I've got some free resources there with to do with that book. But also I wrote another book because communication is another passion. I feel people aren't saying what they want to say because they can't verbalize it. And it's called A Way with Words. And there's some free resources there. So go on and have a look. I've got a blog there. Drop me a comment. Like my Facebook page if you want, connect with me there. I am very much about connection, guys. I love the fact that I've got a small group on here today because you all mean a lot to me. It's like I like to be able to look at the names. I like to be able to connect with you individually. And I believe I can be of best service when I work individually. So please, I offer you that invitation. Come on an oily journey with me so we can explore what your needs are and I can support you more meaningfully. So, Mike, I'm going to draw Mike a card. Thank you so much. Of what you've talked about has been very relevant. Fantastic. God love you. God love you, Sarah. Yes, yes. Okay. Happy to talk to you privately as well if you feel drawn. Mike, you have oregano. Now, oregano, some of you may think about oregano and spaghetti bowl. Yum, one of my favorite meals. One of the things with doTERRA essential oils, they are so potent and powerful that we have to be mindful of it. And if you think of these are what our ancients used as plant medicines. So we need to be very mindful of how we are using them. And oregano is very much one of those. So when I'm making my spag bowl, I would just get a toothpick and sort of dip it into the oil and then wind it through. That's how powerful it is. So that's on a cooking level. So we can use it that way. It's really interesting when you look back at how the essential oils were used over the years. And the French were always very advanced with the use of essential oils in a medicinal way. And there's books where you can read where various doctors throughout the war were using them as painkillers or as when they ran out of antibiotics and things like that. So, we know our ancients used essential oils, Hippocrates even. But we know now about herbalists are using plants. They have so many uses. So, but let's have a look for you, Mike, on an emotional level. So again, if we're looking at what we're wanting to release, sometimes oregano is teaching us about letting go of being strong-willed, letting go of the need to be right, letting go of feeling peeved about what other people are saying. And basically, again, we're getting a lot of let go of control today. But I think we are too rigid in this world. And I don't know about you, Mike. I am a bit of a control freak, and I'm working on that. But, we're looking to bring more flexibility into our life. And when you think about it, and this may be you, Mike, but, if we are you know, finding it difficult to maybe we're a bit prideful, but we're actually kind of getting ourselves in this rigid kind of state, and that's not good for our physical being because we are stiff, we are tense, our organs aren't operating freely. Our muscles are tight, and so we're placing a lot of stress where we're really messing with our nervous system. And so if we can let go and just be more in a state of trust and flow, it's a lot better for us. So Mike, I don't know whether that's landing for you in some way. Can I just share with you, Mike, because I kind of feel connected on this card, because I remember I drew this card once and it was said, you need to let go of the need to be right. And my immediate reaction was, I don't always need to be right. And then I went, okay, maybe I do. And sometimes we have to have a really good hard look at ourselves. But it is about humility as well, about we don't always need to voice an opinion. Sometimes it's okay. The humility. Your centering thought is, I release my need to control and to always be right. I see the value in others and their own individuality. I release the toxic relationships in my life. And yeah, Mike, working on being the observer. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. And I think this is for everybody who may be sort of feeling it a bit into Mike's card, that I often think we are trying to control with really good intentions because we can see that it can help other people, but maybe we're taking away their journey. Maybe we're overstepping our job description. And so, Mike, your question is, why is it so easy for me to be humble? And I love what you just said. I'm working on just being the observer. I have another very dear friend who uses that line a lot. So I hope that's meaningful for you. I wanted to just share with you, I like to give you a blend on the day. And thanks, guys. I'm really enjoying this chat with you today. I hope you're finding it of value. But I love creating blends. I love playing around with the oils and the emotions and thinking about what will serve a particular stage in my day or life. And so I call this my sense of imagination, because in line with rituals, I think we need to just go into our imagination more and think, well, what could I do? And again, be like that little kid. Think back to being a child. I don't know about you, I was always dreaming and imagining things. And we often hear about children and their imaginary friend. And there's lots of thoughts that may not have been an imaginary friend. It's what they were so open to being able to see. But children generally are more imaginative because they haven't had the constraints of life or haven't been told that it's not possible. I love the story of a friend whose daughter was told, I think she was in year 2, asked what she wanted to be when she grew up, and she said a fairy. And the teacher said to her, you can't be a fairy. They don't exist. And the little girl was distraught because her mother is actually a fairy. She does children's parties, so why not? Let's be a fairy. Let's all be fairy godmothers. Let's just imagine whatever life we want to live. Hello, Rose. Oh, it's lovely to have you on here. So I want to just share with you this little blend, and it's made up of clary sage, litsi, and ylang ylang. And ylang ylang is the oil of the inner child, and it is helping us to go within and connect with that little child. Yes, Patrizia, the children haven't been conditioned. So if we can connect with that inner child and be more playful, we'll have a much better chance of getting into that state where we can imagine. Also then clary sage. Oh, wow. Clary sage is very much about insight and wisdom and perspective. And then we have litsi, which is the oil of manifestation. And litsi is about, okay, we've become playful. We're now going to connect with our light, with our intuition, and now we're going to make it happen. So that's where litsi comes in and kind of like uses the kick up the patootie, so we can actually get out there with confidence and act on what it is we want to act. And so my wish for all of you is that you can go back inside to that little playful child and start imagining, what would you like to fill your day with? What rituals would you like to bring into your day without meaning, whether it's a ritual for the mind, whether it's a ritual for your breath, whether it's a ritual with your children, with your partner, whatever it is that you can then pass on. And whatever it is, whatever the ritual is, that you are in the moment with that ritual and valuing what it brings to you and being grateful for it. And make rituals with food. I mean, we had a picnic tea, and I used to have various friends just come Saturday night because they loved picnic tea and they loved what it meant. It was this family moment of connection. The other thing I used to do with my kids is we used to each get a foot basin and we'd fill it up with marbles and hot water and essential oils and Epsom salts, and we'd have a foot spa together. We couldn't afford to go and do that, but we could create our own. And in those moments I can tell you now, parents, when your kids have got their feet in a bucket of water, they can't go anywhere. So it's a time when you can have those really meaningful conversations. So that's my little blend. If you want to know more about how to get any of these oils, I'm here to serve. You can connect with me. I love teaching you how to use the oils and how to get them at the best possible price. And I always come up with a little affirmation to go with the blend. And the affirmation I wrote last night to go with this blend was, I listen quietly as my intuition whispers, and I act on all that inspires my heart, and I shine brightly. Because, my friends, when we truly listen to that inner voice and accept that wisdom and then go forth and act on that wisdom that we were given, we shine our light to the world. And the world needs more light right now. It needs more love. It needs more light. It needs more of your amazing talents. So can I ask you, can I get a bit of a yes, 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 that you'll go out and do this? Please, 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 please. Remember my offerings to you. Remember the blending classes I can tap you into. Remember the other thing I was going to say to you with blends and affirmations, on my website, I actually have a page, it's called Aromatic Anchoring, where I've created some blends and some affirmations. So if you want to borrow those, knock yourself out. They're yours free. But please connect with me. I've loved being with you here today. I appreciate you all. You are all magnificent beings of light. Let us go forward to spread our gifts, create our rituals, pass those rituals on so we can be of magnificent influence to the generation that is to come. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to end this broadcast and I'm going to come back and answer your little comments. And I look forward to having more connections with you. I'll be back here at 9:30 next week. And I'm going to start bringing on some guest speakers as well. So have a beautiful week, my friends. I will talk to you soon. Bye.